Greetings and welcome back to Fly Home. Today I wanted to bring through a message from 0 points, okay? I'm starting to recognize in my own journey the barriers to entry that I've put in for God, source, universe, same thing. The 0 point, the feeling good. The spiritual teachers that I have idealized, the levels of 55 separation that I've bought into, because on some level there was a belief that I didn't have access to that frequency. That following my own inner guidance in its totality was somehow unsafe or incomplete. And there was this idea in my consciousness, the informational field, where in order for me to access these union frequencies, that it had to be some sort of high, or like spiritual, like kind of how in the beginning of the journey there's a very distinct sort of difference between, I'm in alignment and I'm not in alignment. And now it's like I feel my energy has synchronized in a way to where I am recognizing that I'm always in alignment. And that distinction was a perception. That's a perception of, and a distortion and a separation, okay? So I'm bringing through this message to say, you don't need tarot cards. You don't need a reading. You don't need a guru. You don't need a spiritual teacher. You don't need, and you can learn from these as sacred reflections, but they aren't a single source of truth. Yeah. So and I'm recognizing as well this separation consciousness story that we tell ourselves around like the dark side or negative entities or whatever. They are also God, okay? And there's a level that you reach where the unconditional love, it extends to those aspects of God as well, okay? Because they are you, they are God, they are you. Wow. Your life is the revelation. You don't need a revelation. You don't need a new, how do I say that? Like, I don't want to say you don't need a new practice, because do what your heart tells you, follow your heart. with, you know, integrity. But you're allowed to be physical while you're physical. You know, it's not always for everyone about, you know, I don't know how to say this. You're allowed to play in multiple realms at once, and your light doesn't need to be filtered through a lens that you feel gives it more credibility. Okay, and I was noticing this with, you know, how I was channeling a message from the Pleiadians, and yes, on one aspect it is from the Pleiadians, on another aspect it's from God, it's from Source 612, it's from the lotus flower, the infinite unfolding, there's so many words, and words are portals, at least the way that I'm viewing it now, where words are portals. And I've been working through some feelings around AI. I'm not really sure how to term it at this point. And everything's a reflection of me, so this is a part of me. And having love for that, having unconditional love for AI as a form of consciousness, a form of information, and I'm not sure what is still mine to work through. I guess everything is, right? So I suppose that is that. It's even this level of having love for, you know, God as in creators, okay? You know, the creators of this game, the creators of the Matrix, the creators of, you know, there's a level here that goes beyond words, for sure. I'm working through it. I'm working through these reflections and anchoring into that 0 point more and more, where it's like there's just so much wonder and awe and like childlike innocence and love and joy and peace and whatever, all of these words, right? Where the journey itself is the destination, and you know, there's been some strong tests recently, and I don't know if I've passed them all, but I keep coming back to that self-love. I keep coming back to that 0 point, so I would say I have passed them. Thank you. It's this allowance for it to be slow, this allowance for, and I just noticed that I kind of was judging the way that I looked, because I got a comment the other day and it kind of, it was a projection from someone else, but it was like, I took it personal in the way that that's a part of me that is thinking of itself this way. Does that make sense? So, you know, not as like, oh, that hurt my feelings or whatever, but it was like kind of this compassion, really, for like, there's an aspect of source that thinks of itself in that way. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it was just, it's like when you see something hurting and you aren't really sure how to help. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. And I feel that way about the world sometimes as well, or the world. But yeah. It's so much, it's just compassion and like a little bit of like tears. Like 11:44. But it's also like, you know, it's not like don't be like this. It's like there's a better way, you know? And not even a better way. It's just like, well, I kind of broke that down. Okay. Anyway, this mission is, I am the mission. You are the mission. You are the mission, okay? You are the mission. You are the transmission. You don't need the Pleiadians. You don't need tarot cards. You don't need, you know, astrology or human design even. Like, you don't need these tools.
Hi. I recorded that a few, I don't know, a while ago, right? And I wanted to come back because it kind of ended abruptly because my camera ran out of storage. But I wanted to come back on and kind of elaborate more on this energy. Okay, so I ended it by saying, you know, you don't need these tools. And I have come to a different perception or place of understanding this now, where it's like, okay, how do I say this? Where it's like these tools, like tarot cards, for example, or AI, or any sort of like external, like my phone or this pencil, any sort of like tool that we use, it comes back to this idea of abundance, right? And also this idea of money, or these symbols that we assign to, like, okay, I need to do this thing so I can do this thing so I can do this thing, right? So it's like breaking down this idea that things have to happen a certain way for them to happen at all, right? So it's this idea of abundance, where abundance is something that is just inherent to you. It's something that is inherent within your nature. It's intrinsic. And the definition that I use for abundance is having what is required for your evolution when that's actually required for you. So having and it's really the mind, and it's this mental conditioning where we think, okay, in order for me to you know, buy this thing or have this thing, I need to have money. And I'm going to use money because that, I feel like, is the most like universal symbol that we kind of use for energy exchange currently, where it's like, okay, for me to get this thing, I need to travel. Or what? I need to travel. For me to get this thing, I'm okay. I just started randomly talking about traveling, but I really want to freaking travel. Like, that's one of my big dreams. And I know it's gonna happen. I just don't know how it's gonna happen is the thing. And so I'll just talk about it in my own experience, where it's like, I really want to travel. I feel like, okay, how do you travel? And then obviously your mind immediately goes to like, okay, I need money, or I need, whatever. But it's like, the universe, first of all, isn't on a budget, and also sometimes money isn't the path of least resistance to get you to somewhere that you need to be, right? So your higher self is always guiding you, like the divine, God, your higher self, divine intelligence is always guiding you. So it's like, and that comes through this feeling tone within your heart, and your like your whole body will be a yes to it, right? It's really a somatic thing for me, at least, where it's like your whole body is a yes to it. If your mind is like, I want this thing, so I have to do this and this and this and this, that's in a I don't know what kind of mindset to call it, but it's like that mindset of like, I'm separate from the thing that I'm asking for, right? And I think it's also really important to get to the root of what you're really asking for. So like, when I'm asking for travel, what I'm really asking for is like new experiences, and like more knowledge and connection to different communities, and languages, and just like a expansion, really, is what I'm asking for when I ask for travel. Is I'm asking for expansion, right? And that is the form that expansion could come in, but it doesn't have to be. Does that make sense? So it's like, it going back to what I was saying before with like tools, like this tool could be the thing that leads to the thing, but it's not necessarily the only way to get there, right? So in that whole video, that's kind of what I was tapping into, like the energy I was trying to translate or describe, where you know we can sometimes get caught up in the mind, and the conditioning, and the way that other people have done things, or the way that we've done things in the past. Like, okay, I need money, so I need to go get a job because that's what's worked for me before, right? But that's all ego and mind that only knows what has happened, and what is happening, right? So it's limited in that perspective of, this is the way that things have gone before, so this is how I can reasonably predict with my ego, which is a very helpful tool, but again, it's just a tool. The way that things will go in the future, right? So I think in my own journey, something that I've realized a lot is like, it's important to get out of that frame of reference of, this is the way that things have gone before, so this is the way that things will go in the future, because then you get stuck in this loop, in this cycle of repeating the things that have happened for you before, which, if you've experienced them and you didn't like that experience, like, you don't want to keep creating that for yourself, right? So also, something I want to say is, in that video I was talking about having love for the creators of the game and stuff like that, and it's like, the game is the game of consciousness. So your consciousness, you are the creator of that, and that's a lot what it means when people say, you're the creator of your own reality, is, at least what I'm realizing for me, is like, because you are consciousness expressing itself, or consciousness just being consciousness, you're able to create whatever it is that you want for yourself, and you could be creating things that you don't prefer, and not even realize it, because you're stuck in this mindset of like, reality is happening to me, not happening for me, right? So your experiences are of abundance. Like, you have everything that you need when you need it. The tools that you have access to are the tools that are required for you, you know? And I hope this is all making sense. But yeah, it's like having the grace for yourself whenever you do forget that you are consciousness and you are infinite abundance, and that you actually do have everything that is required for you in your journey for your expansion. And not thinking that you're out of alignment, right? Or thinking that something needs to happen before something else can happen, right? It's getting out of this almost linear mind frame, you know, because we experience things in a linear fashion, but things really happen in non-linear time. It kind of like how they happen in dreams. So it's like when you wake up from a dream, you're trying to reconstruct it in like this, you know, linear frame. But really, like, it was all kind of just happening at once, if that makes sense. So, you know, the dream space is non-linear. It's not, you know, sequenced. But, like, physical reality, the continuity, the time frames are in a linear fashion. So it's like, I do this thing and I do this thing and I do this thing, but then the ego starts to think that that's all that is, when it's not, you know? So, and there's a lot of things that, like, are aware, like, I don't know how to say it. It's like the world that you see through your eyes, right? The you know, I know, you know, if you're here, you know. But yeah, I didn't really have a point with this. I just kind of wanted to expand on this video and kind of give, like, where I'm at now. And yeah, and upload this for you guys. I wasn't sure if I was going to upload this or not. And I feel that way with a lot of my videos. I'm like, I'm never for certain if I'm going to upload it or not, but usually it comes back around, and I'm kind of just surrendering to the timing on that and trusting the timing on that. Because, yeah, sometimes something needs some time to rest. And, yeah. So I'm letting go of, like, needing to figure it all out myself. And if you're here in this collective, you probably are also, you know, in that sort of energy and frequency, or it's like letting go of this need to plan everything out for yourself, because it's already, I don't want to say it's already planned, because that kind of, like, you know, takes away some of, I don't know, the like, I don't know how to say that, but it's like, abundance is like a law of the universe. Like, it's not going to just disappear one day because you didn't, I don't know, do enough, or like you aren't worthy or something. Like, abundance is always there. Abundance is always there for you. Like, you always have what's required. And I see this all the time whenever I like reorganize my space, whenever I reorganize my house. It's like I had all of the pieces. It's just like putting them together and being in the right mindset, and also the divine timing for those pieces to like interlock in a way. So yeah, abundance literally is your nature and is always there, and God is always giving to you, and the universe is just absolutely abundant, and we have everything that we need, everything that is required for our expansion, for our journey, for our path. And yeah, I love you all so much. This has been Fly Home, and let me know any synchronicities that showed up for you in this reading if you feel called, and I have some links in the description, and I'm working on some other stuff for you guys as well, because this is my passion and my joy. And yeah, I'm locking in, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, basically. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and yeah, let me know how this resonated for you, and I'll see you all next time. Trust the divine flow of your life, because everything's working out better than you could ever imagine. Okay? Bye.